Remember when you could open TikTok and instantly get sucked into a vortex of dance crazes, cooking hacks, and hilarious animal videos? That feels like a distant memory now. The app that once dominated our digital lives has gone dark in the US. No more endless scrolling, no more viral trends, just an eerie silence where a cacophony of content used to be. The blackout happened swiftly and unexpectedly. What started as whispers of concern on other social media platforms quickly escalated into a national news story. Users reported being unable to access the app, met with error messages and blank screens. What began as an inconvenience quickly morphed into something much bigger. This wasn't just a technical glitch, it was a full-blown digital blackout. The impact was immediate and far-reaching. For millions of Americans, TikTok wasn't just an app. It was a source of entertainment, a creative outlet, and a way to connect with others. Now they were cut off, left to wonder what had happened and what it meant for their digital lives. The silence was deafening. The reasons behind TikTok's sudden disappearance are complex and multifaceted. While the company initially remained tight-lipped, citing technical difficulties, the truth soon began to emerge. A perfect storm of political pressure, privacy concerns, and economic factors had culminated in this unprecedented event. One major factor was the escalating debate over data security and user privacy. Critics had long voiced concerns about TikTok's data collection practices and its potential ties to the Chinese government. These concerns reached a fever pitch in the months leading up to the blackout, with lawmakers calling for increased scrutiny and even outright bans. Adding fuel to the fire were growing tensions between the US and China on the global stage. As the two superpowers jostled for economic and technological dominance, TikTok found itself caught in the crosshairs. The app, with its massive user base and potential for data harvesting, became a pawn in a much larger geopolitical game. The final nail in the coffin came from unexpected quarters, the US economy. As recession fears gripped the nation, lawmakers and regulators began looking for ways to protect American businesses and intellectual property. TikTok, with its Chinese ownership and rapid growth, was seen as a potential threat to homegrown social media companies. The immediate aftermath of the blackout was chaos. Millions of users were left in the lurch, their daily routines disrupted and their digital lives thrown into disarray. For many, TikTok was more than just an app. It was a community, a creative outlet, and even a source of income. The impact on content creators was particularly severe. TikTok had spawned a new generation of influencers, many of whom had built their entire careers on the platform. Overnight, these digital stars saw their livelihoods vanish, their audiences scattered, and their future uncertain. The blackout served as a stark reminder of the precarious nature of internet fame and the importance of diversifying one's online presence. Meanwhile, TikTok itself was in crisis mode. The company scrambled to contain the damage, issuing carefully worded statements and promising a swift resolution. But with each passing day, the pressure mounted. The blackout had exposed the fragility of TikTok's position in the US market and the very real threat it faced from political and economic forces. As the initial shock of the blackout begins to fade, the big question remains: what happens next? The future of TikTok in the US remains uncertain, shrouded in legal battles, political maneuvering, and a rapidly evolving digital landscape. One possibility is that TikTok could negotiate a return to the US market, albeit with significant concessions. This might involve stricter data privacy regulations, increased transparency about its algorithms, and even a change in ownership. However, such a scenario would require navigating a complex web of political and economic interests with no guarantee of success. Another possibility is that TikTok remains banned in the US, its digital presence permanently extinguished. This would have far-reaching consequences, not just for the company, but for the millions of users who relied on it for entertainment, connection, and income. It would also set a precedent for future regulation of social media platforms, potentially reshaping the digital landscape as we know it. Whatever the outcome, one thing is clear: the TikTok blackout marks a turning point in the evolution of social media. It has exposed the vulnerabilities of these platforms to political pressure, economic forces, and societal concerns about data privacy and online safety. As we move forward, it is imperative that we engage in thoughtful and nuanced conversations about the role of social media in our lives and the kind of digital future we want to create.